My Catholic Faith. Lesson 125. Fifth Commandment of the Church: to contribute to the support of the Church. To help support our pastors, we can give various things according to our means, their needs, and the needs of the Church. We can offer money, vestments, furnishings for the Church, food, candles, etc. We should make a liberal offering every time the pastor performs some service for us, as at baptisms, funerals, blessings of our houses, marriages, etc. If there is a regular fee charged, we should not only pay it willingly, but, if we are able, give more than what is required. What is meant by the commandment to contribute to the support of the Church? By the commandment to contribute to the support of the Church is meant that each of us is obliged to bear his fair share of the financial burden of the Holy See, of the diocese, and of the parish. As St. Paul says, "What soldier ever serves at his own expense? Who plants a vineyard and does not eat of its fruit? Who feeds the flock and does not eat of the milk of the flock?" We are bound to support our parishes and those in charge of them because justice commands it and God ordained it. Our pastors are those priests in whose districts or parishes we live. Pastors and curates are appointed by the bishop and charged to give the necessary religious instruction, administer the sacraments, watch over the spiritual welfare of the faithful, etc. The Lord directed that those who preach the gospel should have their living from the gospel. Good citizens never think of grumbling about the taxes they pay the government. They have as great, if not greater, obligation to help support the Church. We are also obliged to help support our diocese, as well as the Pope, and to meet all Church needs according to our ability. If we do not support the Church, we are unfaithful to Christ's command that it go and make disciples of all nations. To teach, the Church has need of funds. Our spiritual superiors need material support as much as we do, if not much more on account of their duties. The labourer is worthy of his wages. Mass stipends are given not in payment for the spiritual benefits, but as a means of support for the one who says the Mass. One cannot buy a Mass. The usual stipend for a low Mass has been $1, but when you consider that many priests and missionaries depend on stipends for their living, this amount does not go very far. The cost of living has risen, but the stipend has not increased in amount. For what purposes does the Church need help? Maintenance of public worship, education and charity, as instruction of the young, relief of the poor, upkeep of the churches, seminaries, schools, colleges, asylums, hospitals, cemeteries, orphanages, etc. Maintenance of missions in our country and abroad. In what ways may we contribute to the support of the Church? Some of the most common ways are by making a liberal and voluntary offering to the priest when he performs some religious ceremony on our behalf, such as blessing our houses and children, etc. In parishes with an established schedule of fees for baptism, confirmation, marriage and burial, the fee should be paid without arguing or bargaining. More than the scheduled fee should be given by persons of means, as the schedule is for those of ordinary financial ability. The very poor are not expected to give anything. Sacraments are administered to them without fee. By not failing to put some offering on the collection plate every Sunday and Holy Day, even children should form the habit of putting in a few cents. It is not edifying to see people with diamond rings on their fingers let the plate pass by unnoticed, or put in a dime or a quarter. It certainly does not show much sense of proportion to give a quarter in church and then go out and ride in a luxurious car and proceed to a party that costs some $10 or more. By contributing to special funds, as for the erection of a church or a school, the maintenance of religious establishments, the mission day funds for the propagation of the faith, for missions and retreats, etc. We should be especially eager to contribute to funds collected directly by the Holy Father, as a proof of our loyalty to and love for the Father of all Christians, the Vicar of Christ on earth. The alms collected for the Holy Father are called Peter's Pence. Funds collected on Mission Day are sent to Rome, too, for the propagation of the faith, the spread of the faith in mission lands. By supporting a student in the seminary, some orphans in Catholic schools, catechists and priests in the missions, etc. What merit before God it must be to support a student for the priesthood or a priest in the missions. If we cannot ourselves go to serve him there, we, as it were, offer him a representative. If a father has no son for the seminary, he keeps a substitute there. And we remember that such persons as we benefit only naturally feel towards us a special affection and will devote many of their prayers for their benefactors. What blessings may we not expect from the masses and prayers of one whom we have helped on the way to the priesthood? How much should we contribute for the support of the Church? We should contribute as much as we can according to our means. Persons who are in moderate circumstances and with large families cannot be expected to contribute as much as those who are rich. Ordinarily, if we give each month one day's wages or revenue, the needs of the Church will as a rule be taken care of. This is surely not too heavy a burden. Some people go on year after year without giving a cent to the Church, even when they can well do so. These people should remember that the Church and her ministers cannot subsist on air. In parishes of some dioceses, there is a scriptural practice of tithing, that is, of giving 10% of one's income for church support and charitable uses. Income is our yearly earnings from the profits of land, stock, or personal industry. Persons who are rich should remember that God gave them their wealth. They should return some of it to Him in thanksgiving for His generosity, remembering that He gives wealth only as a trust. Wealthy Catholics should remember the Church in their wills. Many of these Catholics leave funds to some lay institution or other for the erection of this or that building and completely forget to leave anything to their mother church.